Green Day on Wednesday for Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated updated on February 3, 2021. Buy or hold candidate since December 23, 2020 gain 51.35%. The Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated stock price gained 2.75% on the last trading day Wednesday, February 3, 2021, rising from $1.09 to $1.12. During the day the stock fluctuated 7.48% from a day low at $1.07 to a day high of $1.15. The price has fallen in 5 of the last 10 days, but is still up by 4.67% over the past 2 weeks. Volume fell on the last day by -2,000 shares and in total, 2 million shares were bought and sold for approximately $2.50 million. You should take into consideration that falling volume on higher prices causes divergence and may be an early warning about possible changes over the next couple of days. The stock lies in the middle of a very wide and strong rising trend in the short term, and a further rise within the trend is signaled. Given the current short-term trend, the stock is expected to rise 65.25% during the next 3 months and, with a 90% probability, hold a price between $1.56 and $2.25 at the end of this 3-month period. Signals and forecast. A sell signal was issued from a pivot top point on Monday, January 25, 2021, and so far it has fallen -13.85%. Further fall is indicated until a new bottom pivot has been found. Furthermore, there is currently a sell signal from the 3-month moving average convergence divergence MACD. Some positive signals were issued as well, and these may have some influence on the near short-term development. The Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated stock holds a sell signal from the short-term moving average. At the same time, however, there is a buy signal from the long-term average. Since the short-term average is above the long-term average, there is a general buy signal in the stock, giving a positive forecast for the stock. On further gains, the stock will meet resistance from the short-term moving average at approximately $1.15. On a fall, the stock will find some support from the long-term average at approximately 98 cents. A breakup through the short-term average will send a buy signal, whereas a breakdown through the long-term average will send a sell signal. Volume fell during the last trading day despite gaining prices. This causes a divergence between volume and price, and it may be an early warning. The stock should be watched closely. Support, risk and stop loss. Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated finds support from accumulated volume at $1.11, and this level may hold a buying opportunity as an upwards reaction can be expected when the support is being tested. The stock may move much during a day volatility, and with a large prediction interval from the Bollinger Band, this stock is considered to be high risk. During the last day, the stock moved 8 cents between high and low, or 7.48%. For the last week, the stock has had a daily average volatility of 10.27%. Our recommended stop loss, $1.06 -5.68%. The stock has high daily movements, and this gives high risk. There is a sell signal from a pivot top found 7 days ago. Is Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated stock a buy? Several of the signals indicators are negative, and we believe that this will affect on the development for the next days and maybe possible weeks. However, over time, we think that today's level holds a possible buying opportunity and that the price will be higher during or at the end of this 3-month period. Current score, 2.688. Predicted opening price for Diffusion Pharmaceuticals Incorporated of Thursday, February 4, 2021. The predicted opening price is based on yesterday's movements between high, low, and the closing price. Fair opening price February 4, 2021. Current price $1.11. DFFN is overvalued compared to its price of $1.22 per share, has below average safety, and is currently rated a hold. Recommendation: Rec Hold REC reflects the cumulative effect of all the VectorVest parameters working together. These parameters are designed to help investors buy safe, undervalued stocks rising in price. Value: current price, $1.22. Current value, 41 cents. DFFN has a current value of 41 cents per share. compared to a price of $1.22 per share, the stock is currently overvalued. Value is computed from forecasted earnings per share, forecasted earnings growth, profitability, interest, and inflation rates. Upside potential relative value RV per RV is an indicator of long-term price appreciation potential. DFFN has an RV of 0.53, which is poor on a scale of 0.00 to 2.00. This indicator is far superior to a simple comparison of price and value because it is computed from an analysis of projected price appreciation 3 years out, AAA corporate bond rates, and risk. Safety relative safety RS per RS is an indicator of risk. DFFN has an RS of 0.59, which is poor on a scale of 0.00 to 2.00. RS is computed from an analysis of the consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance, debt-to-equity ratio, sales volume, business longevity, price volatility and other factors. Timing relative timing RT very good RT analyzes a stock's price trend. DFFN has a relative timing of 1.31, which is very good on a scale of 0.00 to 2.00. RT is computed from an analysis of the direction, magnitude, and dynamics of a stock's price movements day over day, week over week, quarter over quarter and year over year. If a trend dissipates, RT will gravitate toward 1.00. Overall rating value safety timing VST fair VST is the master indicator for ranking every stock in the VectorVest database. DFFN has a VST rating of 0.92, which is fair on a scale of 0.00 to 2.00. VST is computed from the square root of a weighted sum of the squares of RV, RS, and RT. Stocks with the highest VST ratings have the best combinations of value, safety and timing. STOP stop price 95 cent stop is an indicator of when to sell a position. DFFN has a stop of 95 cents per share. A stock's stop is computed from a 13-week moving average of its closing prices, and is fine-tuned according to the stock's fundamentals. CI Comfort Index Good CI is an indicator which reflects a stock's ability to resist severe and/or lengthy price declines. DFFN has a CI of 1.23, which is good on a scale of 0.00 to 2.00. CI is based solely upon a stock's long-term price history. GRT earnings growth rate GRT reflects a company's 1 to 3 year forecasted earnings growth rate in percent per year. DFFN has a forecasted earnings growth rate of 7.00%, which VectorVest considers to be good. EPS earnings per share EPS stands for leading 12 months earnings per share. DFFN has a forecasted EPS of $-0.23 per share. VectorVest determines this forecast from a combination of recent earnings performance and traditional fiscal and/or calendar year earnings forecasts. PE price to earnings ratio PE shows the dollars required to buy $1 of earnings. DFFN has a PE of -5.30. The average PE of all the stocks in the VectorVest database is 67.59. EY earnings yield EY reflects earnings per share as a percent of price. DFFN has an EY of -18.85%. This is below the current average of 1.48% for all the stocks in the VectorVest database. GPE growth to PE ratio DFFN has a GPE rating of -1.32. A stock is commonly considered to be undervalued when GPE is greater than 1.00. DIV dividend VectorVest reports annual, regular, cash dividends as indicated by the most recent payments. Special distributions, one-time payments, stock dividends, etc., are not generally included in DIV. DFFN does not pay a dividend. DY dividend yield DY reflects dividend per share as a percent of price. DFFN does not pay a dividend, so it does not have a dividend yield rating. DY equals 100x DIV price. It is useful to compare DY with EY. If DY is not significantly lower than EY, the dividend payment may be in jeopardy. DS Dividend Safety. DS is an indicator of the assurance that regular cash dividends will be declared and paid at current or at higher rates for the foreseeable future. DFFN does not pay a dividend, so it does not have a dividend safety rating. Stocks with DS values above 75 typically have RS values well above 1.00 and EY levels that are much higher than DYDG dividend growth rate. Dividend growth is a forecasted annual growth rate of a company's dividend based on historical dividend payments and dividend predictability. It is a subtle yet important indicator of a company's financial performance. It also provides some insight into the board's outlook on the company's ability to increase earnings. DFFN does not pay a dividend, so it does not have a dividend growth rating. YSG Vector YSG is an indicator which combines DY, DS and DG into a single value, and allows direct comparison of all dividend-paying stocks in the database. DFFN does not pay a dividend, so it does not have a YSG rating. Stocks with the highest YSG values have the best combinations of dividend yield, safety and growth. These are the stocks to buy for somewhat above current income and long-term growth. AVGVOL. AVGVOL is the 50-day moving average of daily volume as computed by VectorVest. DFFN has an AVGVOL of 2,363,977 shares traded per day. Percent vol. Percent vol reflects the percent change in today's trading volume as compared to the AVGVOL. Percent vol equals volume, AVGVOL/AVGVOL 100. DFFN had a percent vol of -3.17% on Thursday, February 4, 2021. PRC, DFFN price changed 8.93% from the prior day's closing price. Sales, DFFN has annual sales of 0. Sales growth. Sales growth is the sales growth rate in percent over the last 12 months. DFFN has a sales growth of 0.00% per year. This is poor. Sales per share SPS. DFFN has annual sales of $0 per share. Price to sales ratio PS. DFFN has APS of 0.00. Shares. DFFN has 64 million shares of stock outstanding. Market capitalization. DFFN has a market capitalization of 78 million. Business sector. DFFN has been assigned to the drug business sector. VectorVest classifies stocks into over 200 industry groups and 40 business sectors. Industry group. DFFN has been assigned to the drug biomedical genetic industry group. VectorVest classifies stocks into over 200 industry groups and 40 business sectors.